When I started AI OFM in early 2025, not everyone was successful in this space. Even myself, it took me about 3 to 4 months to reach 10K a month, and I noticed that only about 5% of people doing AI OFM were actually at this level. And when I started talking to these people, I noticed that they all had one thing in common, which was their creative mind. And this creative mind allowed them to actually go viral on Instagram and on social media, which allowed them to go viral quickly and make money quickly. But the thing is that nowadays, with the AI tools that we have and that we've seen the past 6 months, you can still outperform these guys who are talented by just using the right AI tools and just telling them the right prompts. And basically, today I'm here to show you guys how you could build an AI influencer, what will be the prompts from zero to build her, and how are you actually gonna have a plan at the end of this video for the next 3 months in order to reach 10K a month. So I hope you guys will stay until the end. I'm only going to give good values of what I would do if I were to start from zero again with the help of Claude at about 80 to 90%. Alright guys, so first thing first, you want to open up Claude. You do not have to pay for anything, like you can still do it all with the free version. I think you can still get about 30 questions a day with the free version, so that's way more than enough in order to create your AI influencer. So now what you want to do, basically what most people do for mistake when they start on Claude or they want to start on creating influencer is that they do not have the right skill. And basically a skill on Claude is something that is going to help Claude in order to understand today's market based on what's going on in the market and the market that you are targeting. So this way, even though you do not have a specific prompt and you don't have like a good idea like in top of your head, like you don't have to give Claude this many details in order to have a pretty decent result. So if you do not use a skill, you will more end up like with results like this. However, if you use a specific skill for AI OFM that is adjusted on today's market, you will more get results like this. So if you guys want the specific skills that I use for my models and that I've been using the past 2 months, you can DM me on my Instagram. So I'll put the Insta in my bio, and I will send you personally the right skill and how to download it. So I'll do a quick video and I'll send it to you personally. So basically, once you have downloaded the right skill that specific to AI OFM, what you will do is you will just type it here, okay? And I still gave some details in order to be as precise as possible. So I just wrote the skill, so AI influencer strategist. Give your top 3 niche for an AI influencers that will go viral on Instagram. Take into consideration that I am targeting the US market. Here are some niche that worked pretty well in the past. So twins, goth girl, trans, police officer, pilot. Also take into consideration that I would like something new that no one has seen before. So even though I had the right skill that is perfectly set, I still wanted to add a touch of personality to what I actually want and to make sure that Claude is going the same way as I want him to go. So basically he gave me a top 3. So here we have a NASA astronaut, so I've never seen that yet personally, so I'm sure it doesn't exist. Maybe it has, but it wasn't done the right way. We have a deaf girl, pretty rare, never seen that yet. I've seen a blind girl, but not a deaf girl. And we have a female MMA fighter. So female MMA fighter, I think I might have seen something like that on the French market, but it was more like a gym girl training than actual MMA. So personally, I'll go with MMA. I think it's a good niche. I think a lot of men are into MMA, and I think that would create a proximity if a girl was doing MMA plus monetizing with NSFW content. So I think it's more credible to go with MMA. Why not NASA? Because I think it might be less realistic to have a girl from the NASA actually doing NSFW content, and I think there might be some doubts in people's thoughts about seeing this. So I think the MMA girl would work better, and deaf might be good too, but could be also an handicap. Like if you want to sound like audio and stuff, like you would never do that with deaf girl. So that's not what I'm gonna choose. So basically, let's go with the female MMA fighter. So what I want to do is have Claude actually making the prompt for this model specifically. So just to remind you guys, we're not going to be creating the actual model on Claude, but we just use Claude in order to have the perfect prompt to then put it into his field. So I'll just ask Claude, create a prompt for option number 3 and make sure to mention she has to be cute. So it's important that you mention that, otherwise Claude doesn't take it take it into consideration, and you might have an ugly model. So then basically Claude will ask me three typical questions, like what's the skin tone, what's the hairstyle, what's the scene for this prompt, and basically it's kind of a multiple choice. You'll see you'll have to pick for your own model. So I chose medium tan with long dark hair, training gym, heavy bag. So after that, basically Claude will give me the prompt, and you can just copy this prompt and then head over to Xfield. Okay guys, so now that we are into Xfield, what you want to do is go into image, and you want to create image. So basically here I just paste the prompt that Claude just gave me, but you don't want to actually pick Nano Banana Pro for two reasons. The first reason is that it's the most expensive on Xfield, and the second reason is that Seedream 4.5 is basically the version of Nano Banana Pro that will be able to have removed like all the explicit content and everything. Like not removed, but it's the most tolerant out of all these models. So you want to pick Seedream 4.5, and then you'll just head over here and just generate. So now while it's actually loading, I will show you guys another method, which I think for me is the best in order to have the most, I would say, authentic and realistic results. So basically what you want to do is you want to spot on the US market an AI influencer that's going pretty viral, that you kind of like, and that you would like to do the same results as her. So basically I picked this one because I think she looks very authentic. Even myself couldn't tell at first if she was real or not. And basically what you want to do is like take one of her picture. So for example, I'll come here, I'll take this picture, I'll just download it. Okay, so now that you've downloaded the picture, you want to plug it back into Claude and just tell him, I want to reuse this AI influencer because she gets great results on the US market, but I'd like to change it a bit. Can you give her green eyes and red hair? And you'll just, and then basically it will just give you the right prompt in order to plug it back into Nano Banana Pro. Alright guys, so I'm back onto Xfield, and I just gave it the right prompt that I just got from Claude, and I just uploaded the picture. So I'll just click on generate. So while it's still loading, let's get back to the first AI influencer we wanted to create. So as you can see, it's here, but it looks like it could be improved. Like it looks pretty normal, pretty basic. Like you could like see like hundreds and hundreds of people looking like this in the street. So you want to add a little touch to it, and you want to kind of improve it by going back to Claude, and I'll show you guys how to do it. Alright guys, so now I'm back into Claude, and I just told him like this is the influencer I generated. It is not niched enough. As you can see from the result, it's just a simple Asian woman with with black hair. What else would you add to make her more niche? Then he just like talked for a bit, and I said, give me the prompt for what you just said. Okay, so now you have the new prompt, so you can see it gives much more details. Even though we were going for black hair at first, it's now going for blonde hair, but that's just details. Like you will see, like it will add the tattoo and everything. So basically, I'll just copy this and go back to Xfield right away. Alright guys, so we're back into Xfield with the three results, the three final results. So as you can see, it just uploaded the new one with the new prompts. So it looks pretty real, pretty authentic, and pretty niched. But the thing is that it looks a bit too lesbian to me, I would say. Like the short hair with the black and blonde hair doesn't look pretty feminine. So it's still a niche that might work, but it's not the choice I would make. However, when we take a look at this one, it looks pretty good, I would say. Like the fact that we use the technique to get inspired from an actual AI model that's already successful on Instagram helped a lot. What we just did, we just made her a new look, basically, and we gave her a niche, and it's a brand new influencer. So as you can see here, this was the original picture, and we turned it into this. And this, I'm pretty sure that in 1 week on Instagram, I will go viral with it, because Instagram loves to see something that's new, and if you use the right captions with the right music to it, you will go viral 100% with this specific girl. Regarding this one, it's still a pretty decent result, better than what 80% of people would do, but the thing is, it looks too, I would say, basic. And like if you go in Asia and shake a tree, like 10 of them will fall on the ground. So nothing too like niched, nothing too rare. So it's not going to be sure that it's going to go viral. Like it will still take time in order to make millions of views. So this for me is the right choice to make, and that's why I told you I prefer this technique particularly, because it just gives better result. Like when there is an inspiration and some model to get inspired from, it will get a better result. Alright guys, so now that you have your first pick of your model, what you want to do is go ahead and make about 30 to 45 of them in order for people to see what you look like on social media. And basically what you want to do next is create multiple accounts. So I would recommend 8 at first, so 4 on each phones. And basically what you want to do is warm them up correctly, as I taught you guys on my last video. And then you want to go ahead and post 3 pictures on each account that will be pinned on the profile. Then what you want to do is add 30 people in private to each and every one of these accounts. And what you want to do next is start to actually post reels every day on each account, 2 times a day. But you want to post reels first of all that will go viral, and for that you need to stay in the right niche. You don't want to be doing content that's not I would say related to your niche. So as you guys saw, we just made red hair, green eyes, MMA fighter, Muay Thai type of girl. So what I'm going to do now is basically I'm going to stay in that niche and try to focus and build an identity around that specific niche. So for example, you will say on the caption, yeah, ever since I started MMA, I only met guys who last longer in bed, have high testosterone, like whatever. You have to be talking some way about your niche, and that's what will make your personal brand, and that's why people are going to be attracted to you, being different and being consistent and being in the same direction. So thank you guys for watching. I hope I was being helpful. Do not forget to message me on Instagram if you want the right skill for Claude in order to have realistic results. You can also message me if you have any questions, or just ask in the comments, and I'll be back next week for a new video. Thank you guys.